So I want to go back to your remarks about Glass-Steagall. As you know, the original Glass-Steagall was put in place to divide commercial banks and investment banks. The law was repealed in 1999, which created the too big to fail banks, like Citigroup and JP Morgan Chase that got so large. And since then, there have been many proposals, including my own bipartisan bill with Senators McCain, Cantwell, and King for a 21st century Glass-Steagall that would break up the banks and modernize the wall between commercial banking and investment banking. Now, I want to look at the history of this. The president and this administration have said repeatedly that they support a 21st century Glass-Steagall. It was in the Republican Party platform. Donald Trump said it specifically a few weeks before the election. You said, quote, "We need a 21st century Glass-Steagall," at your confirmation hearing. And now you've just said exactly the opposite. You know, in the past few months, you and the president have had a number of meetings with big bank CEOs and lobbyists. Is that the reason for the reversal on Glass-Steagall?
No, not at all. And there actually wasn't a reversal. So
wasn't a reversal?
No, let me just explain. So the Republican platform did have Glass-Steagall. We, during the campaign, and I had the opportunity to work with the president on this, specifically came out and said we do support a 21st century Glass-Steagall.
Yes.
Which is, that means that there are aspects of it, okay, that we think may make sense. But we never said before that we supported a full separation of banks and investment banks.
I'm sorry.
If we had said that, we would have.
Let me just stop you right there, Mr. Secretary.
You're not letting me finish.
Yeah, I'm not, because I really have to understand what you've just said. There are aspects of Glass-Steagall that you support, but not breaking up the banks and separating commercial banking from investment banking. What do you think Glass-Steagall was, if that's not right at the heart of it?
Again, I'm well aware of what Glass-Steagall was. And as you may know, the original concern about Glass-Steagall was actually about conflicts, not about credit risk. And if we had supported a full Glass-Steagall, we would have said at the time that we believed in Glass-Steagall, not a 21st century Glass-Steagall. We were very clear in differentiating it. Now, I now realize that I had not realized that your bill was named the 21st century Glass-Steagall.
Yes, and has been for 3 years now.
I apologize that I was not aware of that. So we were.
But I still haven't heard the answer to my question. What do you think Glass-Steagall was if it wasn't separating commercial banking from investment bank, from ordinary banking?
Again, the fundamental part of Glass-Steagall was, as you've just outlined, the separation of investment banking from commercial banking, because people were concerned about conflicts.
How do you separate without breaking up the big banks that have integrated these two things?
Again, the integration of commercial banking and investment banks has gone on for a long period of time. That is not what caused the problems during the financial crisis. And if we did go back to a full separation, you would have an enormous impact on the liquidity and lending to small and medium-sized businesses.
Let me get this straight. You're saying that you are in favor of Glass-Steagall, which breaks apart the two arms of banking, regular banking and commercial banking, except you don't want to break apart the two parts of banking. This is like something straight out of George Orwell. You're saying simultaneously you're in favor of breaking up the banks. That's what Glass-Steagall is.
I've never said we're in favor of breaking up the banks and separating. If we had, it would have been very simple.
Let me try it one more time. We're going to run out of time here, but I have to try this one more time. What does it mean to be in favor of 21st century Glass-Steagall if it does not mean breaking apart these two functions in banking?
You know what? I'd be more than happy to come see you and follow up and talk about this.
Just tell me what it means.
Had we never came out
and tell me what it means
we should separate.
Tell me what 21st century Glass-Steagall means if it doesn't mean breaking apart those two functions. It's an easy question or an impossible question.
It's actually a complicated question because there's many aspects of it. Okay, the simple answer, which we don't support, is breaking up banks from investment banks. We think that would be a huge mistake. But again, I'm more than happy to listen to your ideas on it. You obviously have strong views, and I'd be happy to follow up and listen to you.
This is just bizarre The idea that you can say, we are in favor of Glass-Steagall, but not breaking up the
We
big
never
banks.
said we
Thank
were in
you.
favor of Glass-Steagall. We said we were in favor of a 21st century Glass-Steagall. It couldn't be clearer.
We are in favor of a bill that is called breaking up the banks, only don't break up the banks. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is
Senator
crazy.
Tillis.